following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
To the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
Yo, I can't believe I made it, actually. We're going to talk about this when I bring the pipe nuts on, but I almost didn't make it to the show once again. And everything got thrown in my way, but still did not stop the pipe man from the final show before the election. Vote pipe man for Prez. And I'm wearing this hat for a reason, too. So when Rebel comes on, she can ask me what the reason is. But, well, why don't we just bring her on? Let's bring on the swamp nut, Rebel Medler.
Hi, everybody.
What's up, swamp nut?
Nothing much. What's going on with you, Pipe Man?
If you're a swamp nut, does that mean your nuts are sweaty?
Absolutely, all the time. Okay.
Well, on that note, let's bring in from way out west. What kind of nut did we say he was going to be?
Oh my! Did we ever give him a nut?
We did last week. Were you not paying attention?
Maybe he knows.
He's going to have to tell us. So let's bring on the Welling nut. We'll call him the Welly nut because he's in the Wellington studio. What did we come up with last week?
Who knows?
Yeah, you don't remember.
I've had different ones. None of them stick.
So I got
sticky nuts.
Well, you got the
nuts.
Sweaty nuts with the sticky nuts.
Non-stick nuts.
Is that like a non-stick pan or something?
Yeah, those are dangerous to cook in. There's your PSA
the Teflon
today.
Nut.
So I gotta tell you something. 58 years old. I turned 58 this month. Okay.
Woo woo.
Yeah. I don't know if 58's a woo woo. It's like a shit. It's like an oh shit.
I'm like half of that.
Listen, we sit there and talk about it at festivals and interviews too, like that. In my like teenage years, we would sit there and talk about like, oh, it doesn't matter. We're not even going to live past 30 anyway. The idea of living past 30 was like so foreign. Like, I mean, I don't understand how I'm almost double that. Okay. And I don't even know how I made it this far. I shouldn't have. Okay. I don't know why somebody's watching over me because really nobody should be watching over me. There's a lot that I should be, paying penance for. And for some reason I get watched over even to come on this show. But here's my point. 58 years. I just learned something. You can learn something at any age. And that's why I'm wearing this hat. What?
You should learn something new every day.
Well, that's why I'm wearing this hat. So before Rebel, you asked me how that relates. Why don't we bring on our resident? Let's see. Maybe we could call her something different today, like the resident traditional Chinese medicine guru. That's what we'll call her. What is that? Is there something sneaking up on you, Rebel? It looks like something's coming from behind the curtain. It's Halloween. That's pretty scary.
I know, right?
What are you doing?
I am trying
to. Is that a dildo?
It's a what?
Is that a dildo
It
that
is
you're
a microphone.
that you're grabbing?
No, it's a microphone
You can't
cover.
grab a dildo on this show.
I don't own any, so I wouldn't.
Okay. Juan, just bring Dr. Nicole Fortin on, okay? And move her to the right, because Rebel should be to the left. There, that's better, because I was really thrown off you putting her over on the left there. I didn't know who was who.
To the left,
Now
to the
I know.
left.
That is so 2005.
All right. So Rebel, do you want to know why I'm wearing this hat?
I do. I want to know why you're wearing a hat.
Okay, so I found out literally within the past week that women find guys when they wear a hat backwards to be like super hot. And I never thought, I always just did it because I didn't want to brush my hair or had bedhead or something like that. So you just throw the cap on and you're good to go. Because this morning I had to get up at 5 and drive north a couple hours towards like Cocoa Beach. And I had to make it back in here in time for the show. I was driving and I almost didn't make it, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But so you two females here on the show. And you won too.
It always feels good to be forgotten.
Have you? Well, you know, you haven't said anything, so it's kind of like I have to tell a story. This is an honest story. Okay. Speaking of that, this is why you should not be quiet. Okay. You should be more of a boisterous, you know, animated, not you specifically, just everybody. So, especially when it's a large family. So I have 4 kids. And one day we went to the furniture store. And the 3 girls, they were too busy fighting, yelling, being annoying, getting thing one all riled up to where she's all blah, 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 blah. And so we leave the store and we're driving home. Our home is like 10 minutes from the store. We're about 5 minutes away.
Tell me you didn't forget one of the kids there.
Where's Derek? Because Derek was the quiet one. Okay. So, but Derek was the one. Okay. So when it was Derek and Leah, the older ones, they'd be in the back seat. And Leah's like the loud, boisterous one. And so Derek would just sit there very quietly and like keep poking her like the whole drive and say nothing and be perfectly quiet. And then Leah would just lose her shit and go bonkers. And then she would get in trouble. And of course, Derek wouldn't. Now, that also helps in this situation because he was so quiet all the time. We didn't notice he wasn't there. He was enjoying the
I have a similar story to that.
Tell yours. I want to hear yours too.
This was like middle school, 7th grade time around. I used to take the bus home. And one day I fell asleep on the bus on the way back home. When I wake up, when I tell you that I did not recognize where I was, but the bus was parked and there was nobody in there. It was just me. The driver was gone. All the students were gone. It was just me. The bus was parked outside our house.
That could never happen today.
I waited for like 20 something minutes before I saw the driver come out of her house because she took a lunch break before picking up the high school students. And I was still in the bus outside her house. And then she had to drive me back to my house.
Oh, that would never happen today. She'd be fired. You'd have your helicopter mom would be already calling the school like 30 seconds after, you know, the bus left the school. Okay. Like back in the day, especially Gen Xers, like my generation, we're called the latchkey kids because our parents didn't really give a fuck where we were or at what time or whatever. They really didn't. Okay. It was like,
or they were at work and they made the oldest kids take care of the little kids and you had to walk miles from school to get home.
Oh, hell
No,
yeah.
and the thing is, like, I saw her pass my stop. I just didn't want to say anything. I stayed quiet the whole ride, and then I fell asleep.
How
Not a
about
good thing.
how about you, Dr. Nicole? Do you people in the North have any good stories like that?
Yeah, I mean, I was notorious for falling asleep on the bus too, or always being late. If that surprises anybody.
Well,
Like
surprise,
always, I
surprise.
was always running for the bus, and if you missed it, I mean, you had to
Okay, wait
like,
a minute. I have a bone to pick with you now. Okay, so
oh,
I
okay,
got up at 5 this morning. I
yeah,
drove up to almost Cocoa Beach. I had to go on a few appointments. I had to get back here. It's at least 2-hour drive if there's no traffic. Okay, and then there was traffic, and then I got back here and they on the road to the pipe cave, the drawbridge went up, like everything went up in my way. There was no possible way that I could run up 12 flights of stairs, get the microphone hooked up, get the webcam hooked up, get everything ready to go, and start this show on time. But I
but
did.
you made it. Yeah,
And you weren't here. So
yeah,
like
I was a
whatever
little delayed.
freaking excuse you have, I don't really give a flying hoot, okay? Because and what is it? Okay, I have to say, I want to bring up something because we have a vote going on this year. It's the third time, okay, that we're voting to legalize recreational marijuana in the state of Florida. Twice before it has failed. So now what they have done this year is they have recruited the sheriff's department to do ads on television to tell you to vote for pot to be legal. Like, I think that's a trap. I'm just saying.
Mm,
But
interesting.
if you watch the commercial, it's like the sheriff of Palm Beach County saying to vote yes on Proposition 3. But here's my point. You people in Canada, you call it like everywhere you go around the world, even around this country, smoking stuff like that is called something different. So, like in New Jersey, they call smoking a joint, they call it smoking a bone. I don't understand what that means. Does that mean that you're a
Well,
gay pothead
no,
because
it's
you're getting a boner when you smoke this or something? Why are you shaking your head, Rebel? You
She's
need your
muted.
volume. You're muted, ding dong. You're muted. We can't hear you. Okay. Yeah, you're muted. What kind of engineer is she?
yeah.
She doesn't even know if she's muted or not. Like, what is this? The incompetence, it amazes
It's
me.
the upside down world today.
Are you okay? Now we can hear you, Rebel. It helps when the mic is on. I get calls all the time. You know, I can't hear your show. Well, are your speakers on? No, I didn't know I had to do that. Well, that might help. Go turn your speakers on. Oh, it's working now. Thank you so much. These are actual real life conversations I have during either for things for my show or other shows on the station all the time. Okay. Or people calling my phone number to be on somebody's show.
Yep.
Okay. And it's somebody that has done it multiple times too. You know, so it's like maybe I get the hint. I don't know. But anyway, okay. So, and then if you go to different places, it's
Smoking a
different
bone.
things. What do they call it in
Oh.
Canada? Don't you guys call it like give a hoot, don't pollute, something like that?
It's not. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I would say like we're having a hoot, you know?
Yeah,
It's a-
that makes zero sense. All I can hear when you say that is give a hoot, don't pollute, which you're polluting by smoking the shit because you're polluting the air. So
Well,
maybe you shouldn't be giving hoots up there because you're polluting the air and it's coming down here. Okay.
yeah, right. Okay, we in Canada pay carbon tax, okay? We pay to pollute. So we pay to play.
Is that why you keep sending those Chinese balloons over here? That if
The weather
Pipeman's
balloons?
if Pipeman's elected, I'm gonna authorize crossbow to take out the balloons. Like, screw
Yeah.
guns.
You're gonna have to
okay?
be very powerful crossbows, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh my
If
gosh.
I'm elected president, and vote for me in a couple days, but if I'm elected president, I'm going to do away with all guns and everybody gets their own personal crossbow. And that's the only thing you can use to defend yourself, to overthrow the government, whatever you need to do. That's your thing. That's your tool. What do you think?
No.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious.
I'm all
I'm
for it.
curious to know what else is on like the agenda of the Pipeman for Prez campaign.
Oh yeah, we have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. First of all, here.
What are we
Okay,
voting for here?
Juan, I need you to be ready for this, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, first of all, if I am elected president,
When?
I will bring Slayer to play in 2025 again. Unless somebody beats me to it. If somebody
Who's
beats
doing
me to
dishes
it,
in the
then
background?
I won't be able to do it. Like what? Yeah, what's going on there, Rebel? Are you in Hell's Kitchen or something?
And now we can't hear her.
Yeah, because she muted it because of the background noise.
No, she's
But
not
hey,
muted. Now she is.
oh my god.
Oh my gosh, this is
Okay,
funny.
so Juan, did anybody beat me? Because I won't be able to bring Slayer. If
nothing,
somebody
Rebel.
did it. If somebody
I
did it
think
first.
someone did. I did see a file. Let me see if we can play it.
Music festival Louder Than Life was called off today. Day 2 was already delayed by the wind and rain from Helene before organizers made the decision to cancel. Though the fans we talked to were a little disappointed, they took it in stride.
Okay, honestly, I'd like to
Nice.
know. Okay, that was announced today, but honestly, and they said this major 2025 announcement was coming. Okay, what I want to know is, will you pay attention to this show, Rebel? Like, Jesus Christ, we're on a radio
She's
show.
trying to finish the dishes.
Jeez. Like, again, I could go all the way up to Coco and back, take care of everything. You can't even get the dishes done before the show. Like, what the hell is your problem?
Or figure out the microphone.
You know what?
You're muted. You are muted. Yeah.
She knows she's muted. She's doing it on purpose.
Oh, because people are doing the dishes.
Yeah. And she can't control the people in her studio.
Is your refrigerator running?
Well, you better go catch it. Speaking of refrigerator, okay?
Knock, knock. It's like the trick or treat.
No. Rebel, I need you to speak now. I need you to speak, Rebel.
Now that you
Okay?
give a question and taking off the mute button.
I'm not doing the mute button. I'm not doing anything with the mute button. You're doing it. Okay.
No, I'm not.
Oh, well, then I guess Juan did it. And thank you,
I am
Juan.
not.
So, Rebel,
Yes.
there's something in today's notes today. Remember, I told you, I'm going to come to you for reference.
Yeah.
What is in our notes that has to do with today and refrigerators?
Nothing.
Come on now. You better
Nothing.
read it. Am I going to have to pull it up myself now? Come on.
It disappeared.
Oh my God. What kind of sidekick is she? Anyway, she can't even have one.
Not
Can
a
you
good
pull
one
up?
today.
Can you pull up the thing and please see if you
gone.
know what I'm talking about? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? All three of you have the email.
There was some special day today.
Yeah,
I
there's a
remember
bunch
seeing
of special days, and one of them has to do with refrigerators.
Yeah, it's like National Appliance Day today.
It's National
pretty
Candy
sure.
Corn Day.
Okay,
Oh.
you know that, but what about there was something else, Rebel? Okay, there's. Come on, Rebel. All right.
I'm not 100%
I guess I'm going to have to
positive.
do the work for you. tonight is one of my
Uh-huh.
favorite nights of the year. First of all, tonight's one of my favorite nights of the year. Why? Because it's mischief night. And that's another thing about different places. I grew up in New Jersey and we had mischief night. That's better than Halloween. And then I moved to California and they didn't know what that was.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You don't know about mischief night? Do you, Juan?
No, mischief night is every night for me.
Yeah, well, that runs in your blood. Speaking of which, Juan, okay, I have to say, how does the Mexican community feel about the comments about Puerto Rico?
I don't even know what comments you're talking about.
Okay, so yeah, at one of Trump's rallies just recently, there's this dude, it's all over the news. He was calling the island of Puerto Rico a garbage can in the ocean or some crap like that. Some super racist comment. They made at this rally there were multiple racist comments, but this one stuck out. Like people
Above the rest of them?
famous Hispanic people have come out and they're like, this could turn the election. I'm just saying, to be real, all joking aside, this could turn the election. Like, how the hell Puerto Rico is part of the United States. How do you talk shit about your own people and your own territories and your own states? And I don't get that. So if I'm elected Pipeman for Prez, anybody talks bad about anything anywhere in this country that is anything against any of your brethren, then you're going to get a toe snipped off.
Yeah, I think you should endorse more geography lessons, because most people think that Puerto Rico is part of Mexico, Alaska is part of Canada, and Hawaii is like some island off the coast of California.
I know it is true how many people think Puerto Rico is part of Mexico, though. It is true, and God, people are stupid. They should listen. I think you should be able to pass an IQ test to be able to vote. I think
at least 97, right?
Yeah. Listen, Pipeman for Prez. That's another. You want another one of my platforms, Dr. Nicole? It is that you have to have a certain element of intelligence to be able to vote. Not anybody can vote. You can't just vote because you can breathe. Okay.
It's like we value your opinion, but please solve for X.
Yes, exactly. And
you are not a robot.
When you go to vote, the screen before it lets you pick a person, it should give you like some type of like questionnaire of like just to see if you're capable enough of sound mind to pick a person.
It's so tricky how they promote the stuff too. It's so tricky how they promote the stuff too, because there's like Amendment 4 that you have to vote for here. And if you read it on the surface, it looks like you're voting for women's rights. And what you're really voting for is taking away a parent's right to authorize their minor child to do something. So it
does depend on how they write it. We have similar things here too. It's like, what am I voting on? Like, I think I know what I'm voting for, but like you word it so
most people don't.
mischievously that I'm so confused, and now I don't even know.
Yes, and some of them. What one?
It's marketing at its finest.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Like
so that just proves to you that it's like all a business. It's all a marketing ploy,
Just like the electronic agreements that you sign. Nobody reads those, and then they get mad when you can't do something because you violated the guidelines. You read the guidelines. Oh, wait, you didn't. You just signed it. Okay. What happened? Listen, I don't know. In your generation, Juan, were you taught that you don't sign anything before reading it? Because I know when I was a kid, like, oh my God, if you ever signed something without reading it, that was like the worst thing you could ever do. And it's true too, because like there's been instances of people signing contracts and getting screwed over really badly because they signed an empty contract. But were you ever taught that one?
I was taught that you're supposed to read it, but it wasn't enforced. So it's like you're read everything before you sign, but then it's like no reinforcement behind that. So people just say
Oh
like,
my
"Oh,
God.
you're supposed to do," but it's like a terms of agreement. You just click on it, forget about it.
How about this? This is good. We should do a topic one episode between different generations and stuff of what is acceptable to say to kids. Like for instance, when I was a kid, one of the most popular sayings was children should be seen and not heard.
But
Imagine
when they're
saying
not
that
heard, you
today.
leave them at the furniture store.
Yeah,
well,
but then when they don't hear me, they take me to their house on the bus.
Yeah.
yeah, see?
So
There's
maybe
a lot.
it should be heard.
See, you make a good point. Like maybe that's why your generation's smarter because you thought of stuff like that. We just thought of listen, right now in Riviera Beach, Florida, there's been a whole big thing going on about feces in the water. Okay. And all these people are complaining about feces in the water. Yet my generation, our parents, when we were outside playing and thirsty and we knocked at the house, they wouldn't let us in the house. They said, go drink from the hose. I kid you not, you weren't allowed back in the house. Like you're out, you're out. You can't come in for a glass of water, drink out of the hose. Now you would yell at your kid for drinking out of the hose.
Yep.
It's so I this just came to me. I find it very interesting. So okay.
So much time outside as a kid. Like I'll never get as much of a tan as an adult as I did as a kid.
Oh, I was just
Like,
at the dermatologist
really
and she was complaining that I got sun. Like,
oh, really?
What, am I supposed to be a goth or something? I mean, I am kind of goth without the goth. Okay, but I mean, seriously, like, big deal. But she could tell I was a surfer because I have no sun on my chest or my back because I did have skin
or your
cancer
eyes
on my back.
from the sunglasses.
That too, probably. But I'm always wearing the rash guard because I did have some skin cancer that got taken out.
Yeah.
No, not a spot. Like this doctor described it years ago when I went there as angry. The part that she had to remove was angry. And yes, it was. It was like what you'd see in those cartoons, like the angry whatever. No wonder kids are so scared. Okay, but here's the thing. Going back to what led us off this bad track. It's Mischief Night tonight, which basically Mischief Night is where you go and you vandalize and it's acceptable. Okay? So what you do is you go TP people's houses. For those of you that don't know that, that's toilet papering. Or you would put dog poop in a paper bag, light it on fire, and then ding dong and ditch. So the people would come out and step on the bag. Or eggs. Eggs are very popular on Mischief Night, like because you gotta egg people's cars and people's houses.
How about like a stick bologna on people's car and then it rests? Do you ever do that one?
No, but how about sugar in the gas tank? I don't recommend that one. It does ruin a car, but
brutal.
Truth be told, statute of limitations is out. I did do that once to somebody that really pissed me off, and so on Mischief Night, they got the old sugar in the gas tank trick. Because like there's a movie with Eddie Murphy with the potato in the. Oh, you got me with the potato in the exhaust pipe trick. You know, if you stick a potato, old school cars, you stuck a potato in their exhaust pipe. This was the thing we would do. They couldn't start their car. Okay. and they would call the tow truck. Okay. And the tow truck would come out, charge them like $150. You know, it's pre having AAA. And all the tow truck had to do was pull the potato out of the exhaust pipe. So there's levels. There's levels of mischief. Okay,
Wasn't it a
so
banana?
yeah, the banana. That was it.
Depends on the size of the pipe.
Beverly Hills Cop,
I
right?
did the potato. The movie you're talking about, that was the banana. I did the potato. I can
Beverly
also
Hills Cops?
Yes, exactly. I can also tell you too. Okay, so we talk about Israel and Palestine right now. Well, back when I was in middle school, it was Israel and Egypt, and so there was this kid that lived near me. We had this love-hate relationship. We were best friends, but hated each other because it was a time when Americans and people around the world were stupid and thought that because he was Egyptian and I'm Jewish, we're supposed to hate each other, and like that's a born thing, and that's when we were really stupid, and we're trying to get stupid like that again. That's the problem. That's why you need to vote Pipeman for Prez, because we don't need to get stupid like that again. We need to include everybody. We need to love everybody. We need to not look at skin color or places you're from or sexual orientation or anything. I don't care if you pick your nose, you're included. Okay. And that includes you, Dr. Nicole. And so
what you're saying is make America smart again.
Yeah. Because
common sense, common again.
I mean, it's just, there's so much stupid shit I could talk about. Like it's just ridiculous what goes on. But the fact that I have to hear this spew of hate the other day from several people that are like in the inner circle of a presidential candidate in the United States of America is just absolutely freaking disgusting. Okay. And you know what? I'll tell you what, Puerto Rico is one of my favorite places to go. Very cool surfing there. The people are totally cool there. The women are hot, Oh, and okay. So going back to that. So now I think I'm going to wear my hat like this all the time. Is it true, ladies? Is it true? Because this is a thing. I saw it like all over the place recently, that this is a thing that now, not this, not that, but that.
Right. That's much better.
So, okay. So,
but you can, but there's a possibility of being hat fished. So
okay.
It looks nice if you know.
Well, yeah, it is a good way to hat fish.
Someone's always wearing a hat, you don't know what's underneath there, which is fine.
That's true. But
it can be a surprise.
Does this help in promoting the Groupon?
Yeah.
Okay, so that proves
I'll
it.
vote.
Rebel, why are you still muted? Why is she muted?
I don't do that.
Okay, Rebel.
Yes.
What about you?
Either way, I could take the hat either way or not in general. But this
if you see a guy and he's wearing a hat backwards, does that like do it for you? Do you like kind of go, ooh?
No.
Not unless it's pointy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
or
white.
Tinfoil.
Does it have to be a pointy white hat? Is that what it has to be?
No, it does not.
Oh, I see.
Oh, she sees.
But this just in. This is coming from the Pipeman campaign headquarters. It seems like there's a Groupon on the rise. They seem to be thinking if they vote for you, they get a better discount on the Groupon.
No, but I am going to tell you what's going to happen in a second. Okay, but I do want, before I forget again, how does it relate to refrigerators?
How does what relate to refrigerators?
We were
this show?
talking about that earlier.
We were
Mischief.
talking about the haunted refrigerator night thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not just Mischief Night. It's also haunted refrigerator night. Who knew?
What?
Yes.
That reminds me of My Little Toaster. You remember that movie?
Is that like the Canadian version of My Little Pony?
No, not Toaster. Come on, it's like a short or something.
You mean Wally?
I just imagine that. I just imagine this Canadian riding on this animated toaster going, beauty, eh?
Yeah.
Oh,
I dressed up like a Canadian today. A little mix of everything, just so you know.
Yeah,
for
what is that?
Halloween.
You're wearing like flannel plaid with leopard print?
While I'm in the wild.
That's a bad acid trip, if you ask me. Okay.
I've got some bunny ears. All the wild creatures of
All right.
Canada.
Nice.
All right, so Rebel.
Yes.
What were we just talking about? That I said, wait,
A refrigerator.
The refrigerator, a haunted refrigerator night.
No, before the refrigerator, I had to talk about the refrigerator first. I said, wait, I had to talk about the refrigerator. Rebel, pay attention.
The Groupon at the election headquarters.
Here's the deal. I've been sneakily behind the scenes updating the Pipeman OnlyFans. It's getting a complete makeover. No more food, no more feet, no more blondes. Just it's just going to be what my vision of what it was going to be to begin with. So everybody's got to pay attention. So yes, if they subscribe to the Pipeman OnlyFans, then they could get a free Groupon. Okay,
a free one?
And that's a pretty good deal. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. I just gotta say. Okay, but you must stay a subscriber for at least 1 year. Okay, that's the disclaimer. Okay, and so basically, the Pipeman OnlyFans is going to consist of all the shenanigans of the Pipeman Radio Tour, outtakes of this show, and stuff you probably won't see elsewhere because Pipeman's photographers take a year to get the pictures done. So we have to wait.
Give you a blurry picture of a burger.
Yeah, exactly. They have to wait for it. And you have to get the premium Pipeman OnlyFans to get the burger. No, we eliminated the burger. Like I said, no more food. Because
no more tacos.
No more tacos. No more, unless they're at a festival, or
on a Tuesday,
or if something happens with them during the show that we can't show on the show, or if it's Tuesday. Yeah, that's a good idea too. I think we should give Juan a new job. Is like every Tuesday he has to send me a different taco picture to put on the Pipeman OnlyFans. Just
I'll make them myself. I'll eat them myself.
Hey, what?
But the pictures will not be blurry. I can tell you that.
Well, she's not wearing her glasses. That's why the pictures were blurry. What?
You can,
cactus tacos. Cactus.
You can.
What do you call that? I've always been.
In my family, the cactus. When you grill the cactus, we call it bistec azteca, which translates to Aztec steak.
Cool.
Because it's not a real steak.
Yeah.
It's kind of like cauliflower steak, but for
those
Mexican.
are so good. Oh my god.
Yeah, but then you also have it with real steak. So.
Okay.
I
put
saw
them on top of each other.
It's getting so stupid that I was in the grocery store the other day and they were marketing a piece of watermelon as watermelon steak. Like, it's just a piece of watermelon, dude.
No, and the thing is, like, I've seen these videos where they take the watermelon and they put like Worcestershire sauce, and it's like you're making it taste like steak, but you don't want steak.
Okay, trivia question. You ready? What can you do to watermelon to make it sweeter?
Add salt to it.
You said salt?
That is absolutely 100% correct. Yes, it's true. If you pour salt on watermelon, it makes it sweeter. That's a trip, right?
They usually use tahini, but yeah, that works.
Tahini?
Tahini.
What's tahini?
It's like this little chili that you put on watermelon to make things taste better. Like it's like you put it on fruit.
You put chili on watermelon?
Yeah,
we're on carrots and
really
stuff.
Good.
It's delicious.
Oh my god, my level of respect for you just dropped a peg. Speaking of pegs, do you do any pegging, Rebel?
No.
I saw somebody talking about pegging today. So what the hell is pegging? Do
you don't want to know?
Do Canadians know what pegging is?
I don't know what that means.
You don't want to?
I could guess. I just I think about jumping on a pogo stick.
Ouch!
Oh, that would hurt. That would hurt.
Terribly bad.
Depends on which way the pogo stick is facing, right?
Juan, do you know anybody you've ever known your whole life that knows what pegging is and enjoys it?
No.
How about you, Rebel? That's a yes. Okay, so tell us a story, Rebel. No, unmute, Rebel. Unmute.
She's trying to run away from the story.
Not muting that. I don't understand how that keeps happening.
I don't know. We're not doing it. Nobody here is doing it. Okay, so Rebel.
Yes.
Maybe you could explain to the Canadians what pegging is.
It's a sexual term.
By the way, Rebel is our sexual deviant expert of the show. Go ahead, Rebel.
Well, thank you. Pegging is where you. How can you say this? For those of you who are
okay.
17,
how can you not
listening.
say it? You just say it. It's where a woman straps on a dildo and butt plugs the dude.
Just on the edge. Just on the edge.
The edge of what? A chair?
What? The edge of the earth? Edge of the flat Earth?
The edge of
we
his
need details.
Anus. No, you don't want details.
You're the
really.
expert in this.
I'm not the expert in that.
Has your KKK boyfriend ever been pegged by you?
I don't have a KKK boyfriend, and no.
It's a requirement
I
in Louisiana. Don't tell me that. It's a requirement in Louisiana. Okay, you can't be a legal resident of Louisiana unless you have sex with the KKK.
That is not true. I'm just going to go on record saying that is not true. And it has been
so you just did it of your own free will then?
I didn't know his affiliation with that party when I was involved with him. When I found out I was no longer
it's not like on the list of questions that you ask somebody before you get close, like typically you wouldn't think that would have to be something you'd check off.
Somebody wants to know the prediction on the election. So let's start all of us. Okay, let's start with the Canadian because what is it with all you people up there that have are so concerned about our politics? I know somebody that is Canadian that spouts more hate about about certain politicians on social media than anybody I've ever met. And it's you're not even American. Why are you doing this? But anyway.
Because we're your little sister, we kind of follow suit in a way.
Oh, well, okay. So
I think it's
what's your prediction? Do you predict a win for Trump, a win for Kamala, or a win for Pipeman?
Pipeman.
Well, I vote Uncle Al for president. You know this. But
we only know of an Uncle Sam.
The uncle.
Who's Uncle Al?
Yeah, Uncle Al is Al Jorgensen of Ministry, and he should run for president. Because,
he's a smart dude.
Well, not only that, because if you can have any of these other idiots run for president, why not? Listen.
Yeah.
I vote anybody's better than anybody there is. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm voting for world peace. And I don't know. We have our own sideshow happening here. So I guess it's whatever happens kind of dictates here a little bit.
Okay,
so we'll
Rebel, who do you predict is when the winner of the election?
Let's see. Mickey Mouse is going to get a couple of votes, but I predict the Pipeman's going to win.
Yeah, I ain't going to win. But thanks, Rebel.
The better of the choices.
I keep voting for myself, and they keep
you might win.
Well, I can't win because they keep eliminating my vote. They're like, I can't vote. I don't have the right to vote. I don't know why. They won't tell me why.
It's because you're not a convicted felon.
Yes, that's why.
That's why.
Well, that's the new rule in Florida. Unless you're a
that
convicted
applies
felon,
here too.
unless you're a convicted felon, you cannot vote in the state of Florida anymore. Okay, and you know, if you have multiple counts, your vote counts multiple times. So, like when Trump votes with this new law, his vote will count 32 times. Okay, Juan, who's your prediction?
My prediction is Trump, only because I know most Americans they're still not ready to see a female president. And so they're going to choose him over her, especially with the way that she's behaving in talk shows and all these other things. But Pipeman, you have my vote.
Well, thanks.
Has my vote too. Wait, can I answer a question?
Wait, first I have to say something. You know, that statement you just made, Juan, I didn't know, but you are a misogynist. I mean, that's uncool. Okay, go on, Juan.
I said people aren't ready. I didn't say I wasn't ready.
No, I agree that America and the world is not ready for a female president. I agree with that. But I also can say I would not vote for her because in the 4 years she has been our vice president, she has done nothing.
Most vice presidents don't. That don't mean crap.
Well, wait a minute.
You're drinking the Kool-Aid, okay?
No,
because you're not allowed to do stuff when you're vice president because it makes the president look bad. Yeah,
there's more first ladies from back in the 80s on
first
up
ladies.
To now. Listen to what I have to say. The first ladies from the 80s to now have done more than Kamala has in 4 years. Okay.
How do you know? Were you there?
I was there for the 90s.
You know?
Okay. I can remember back in the day where first ladies did more and were on
you cannot
talk
make that
about
comparison.
And everything else.
You cannot make that comparison first because Kamala has never been married to a president. She was a vice president.
Right. She was a vice president and she did less than first ladies have done in
even if
their
she did
time.
something, she wouldn't get the credit for it.
That just means she's not, like.
Well, you also have to think about it this way, right? Like Biden hasn't been his best self this last couple of years. So who has been doing all the work?
Not them. The puppets that control the freaking.
Okay.
What is it? The dark state? Yeah, them.
Which is scarier? Here's the poll I want to do.
There you go.
Here's the poll I want to do. Which is scarier, Halloween or the presidential election this year?
The presidential election.
Oh boy.
That's unanimous.
Yeah.
Like, how scary is this shit? Like, I don't. Okay.
I don't know. There's some other things. Maybe I hope you guys get your own version of true dope. Okay. I hope that you guys get to legalize marijuana finally. And I don't know who's running.
No, we don't need everybody being stoned all the time. Have you been to these legal states? Yeah, have you been to these legal states? Okay,
I know.
You know how many engineers in our LA studio I had to fire because it's legal in California? Like, literally, ask Rebel how many times Rebel was like, Jesus fucking Christ, like. You don't have to be stoned 24/7
because they're showing up to work like that. Well, it's just like drink. It's like a recreational thing, right? Like you got to still be sober to live your, do your duties. I think that's fair.
I gotta say something, okay? Nobody wanted to legalize marijuana back in the 80s when it probably should have been, but now they want to legalize it by doing these ad campaigns of police officers scaring you into it. Oh, better make sure to vote yes on Prop 3 because otherwise we're trying to get the pot laced with the fentanyl off the streets.
That's
not going to stop it.
Here's what I think. I think Proposition 3 is a trap, and everyone who votes for it will be on a list of who to watch out for.
Oh, no doubt about it. Like, they're not doing all this stuff for us. Are you
like, you're voluntarily telling us you do this?
Okay. And they're making a ton of money off of it. It's still illegal.
I've never smoked weed in my life, but I do believe it should be legal.
Well, and you know what?
No.
You're proof of why people should smoke.
There's a big difference between weed and THC.
Hey, but Juan, Rebel's the perfect example of Like she should be the commercial of why people should legalize and smoke marijuana. Because look at how she is, and she's never ever smoked it. Like that's scary. That's scary. Okay. Maybe we do need it. Maybe it is the miracle drug. I don't know. But before we go, because it's about over, but Rebel, can you go through the list of things that we were supposed to talk about so I can talk about them now? While you do that, I'm going to talk. Yes. While you do that, I'm going to talk about the things I didn't talk about. Okay. So stay tuned. Shiprocked is one of the coolest metal rock cruises in the world. It's sold out every year. They're actually releasing some tickets right now. Okay. This is like a total surprise. There might be some news coming up from the Pipeman. Stay tuned. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but there might be some news. But there also might be a possibility of maybe we might do a giveaway. I don't know, but you're going to have to listen to the show every week to find out. And you're going to have to listen to the podcast and all that. But check out Shiprocked because it is one of the people that I know that goes Shiprocked. Like they go every year. Like this is their favorite part of life. And it's such a community. And there's people that like they're like friends for life because it is the most incredible thing. It's a cruise with metal bands and hard rock bands, and it is cool as hell. So that is something we had to discuss today, Rebel. We did discuss Louder Than Life. Slayer didn't get to play this year due to the hurricane, but screw you, hurricane. Slayer's coming back next year, 2025. We are going to have ticket giveaways for Louder Than Life, so stay tuned for that on the Adventures of Pipeman. What else have I missed, Rebel?
Publicist Day, Candy Corn Day.
Yeah, you said about Candy Corn Day. I love candy corns. It's one of my favorite Halloween candies, by the way, but not if I get them trick-or-treating because then they're poison and I'm going to die. Okay, so kiddies, don't eat those candy corns. Never, ever, okay, no apples because they usually have razor blades in them. This is from when I was a kid.
Or crushed glass.
Yes. And, so you got to be careful. It must be completely sealed and produced and not produced by the government because that can be a problem too. Just saying.
So basically, don't eat any of it.
Don't eat any of it. It's all a trap
anyways.
For the presidential election. They're going to get everybody into a food coma of all this sugar. So they don't show up to vote, and some surprise candidate, starts with P, will steal the election. I'm just saying. Okay. Is there anything else I missed, Rebel?
It looks like Respectable Street, Sill Goose.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Silly Goose.
yeah. I gotta talk about that.
And W.A.S.P, Armored Saint.
Oh yeah, but it is National Publicist Day today too, so that's pretty scary too, because I'm getting 10 million different requests for interviews, but that's because my interviews started going viral this week. Two of my interviews, somebody said to me, "Oh, they're going viral." Like all the news sources are picking them up. So Pipeman has hit the news again for the 10 millionth time, but this was pretty cool. My Judas Priest interview and my Edsel Dope interview. So go check out those interviews. They were picked up by the news sources because of some things that were said in those interviews. So if you didn't catch them, you need to catch them. And then what else was it? What'd you say, Nicole?
Publicist Day and W.A.S.P.
I said Publicist.
Oh yeah, W.A.S.P.
Yeah. So
Goose.
November 24th in Orlando, Florida. Okay, so I had an interview recently with my old friend Joey Vera from Armored Saint. I was their original merch company at 15 years old. You'll have to hear about that story on another episode. And basically, I'm going to cover that show. It's Armored Saint and W.A.S.P. One of the first club shows I ever went to in my life. It was like the second one ever, and that's where I met Joey Vera, was Halloween 40 years ago. And it was W.A.S.P., Armored Saint, and this band Headshaker. I saw an ad in a magazine. I'm like, man, these people look cool. And from that day on, that's where the Pipeman grew into being the metalhead he is today. So it's going to be cool reuniting with my old friends for a great show. And then there was another show we wanted to talk about, Rebel. Hurry
Judas
up. We got
Priest
going.
and Judas Priest and Dope.
I did that already. What else?
Silly Goose. Silly Goose.
Silly Goose.
Silly Goose. That's the one. There you go. See, I got to train Rebel after 50 million years. She still can't do it. Okay. So I was lucky enough to get home from the Pipeman Radio Tour, and Silly Goose, one of my favorite newest bands. Man, what a story. If you haven't heard it before, come back to Adventures of Pipeman. We'll tell the story again, because this band is so old school and so cool, and they played at one of my favorite venues here in West Palm Beach, Respectable Street. Pipeman was on the guest list, showed up. It was a great show. Loved it. There's a lot going on. Check them out on tour. They're also going to have their headlining tour in the beginning of the year. So check out Silly Goose. And I got a cool shirt from Silly Goose. You need to support your bands. Buy their merch. It's the only way they get to the next show. Buy their merch. Don't buy the Pipeman Groupon, because that's not very good merch. Well, no. Yes, buy it.
You might get it for free if you vote for Pipeman.
You might get the gift that keeps on giving, too.
Okay, vote for Pipeman for Prez. Subscribe to Pipeman OnlyFans, and you will get the gift that keeps giving. Okay? Just like he said. Okay. And so that's it. Anything else you want to say, Rebel? Okay. Anything else you want to say, Juan?
No, I think we're good.
How about you, Nicole? Why don't you give your socials and your show info? Hurry up. You only got like 10 seconds.
Okay. Language of Healing Podcast.com. Find us Tuesdays, 2 p.m. Eastern on W4WN.com. Talk4 TV. Thanks for having me.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Happy Mischief Night.
I always start on time. I always start on time. One of these days I'll end on time. Tune into the Adventures of Pipeman every week, Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, W4CY Radio, W4CY.com. Hey, happy Halloween and happy end of the world. The end of the world is coming next week, so enjoy Halloween this week. Thanks for listening. Roll it, Juan.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.